Hey guys, it's Frosty from Madstylemoto. Building on our wheelie tutorial series, today we're going to learn how to coast. Liam can't really do this maneuver, so I've come in to show you guys how it's done. There's two different ways to do a coast. One is clutch in, the other one is clutch out, and I'll explain how to do both in this tutorial. Before you learn how to coast, you really need to make sure that you're very comfortable with the wheelie and sitting it at balance point for quite some distance. Unlike a normal wheelie, the coast does not have any throttle input. It's all about modulating that rear brake and making sure that front wheel doesn't drop too far down or doesn't come too far back. First, we're going to look at the clutch in approach. With clutch in coast, it's all about remaining comfortable the entire way. It's the same as a normal wheelie. To initiate a clutch in coast, what you want to do is get up into balance point and pull that clutch in and see how the bike behaves, making sure that the rear brake is covered at all times. Once you get that bike up into the coasting position and you've pulled that clutch in, it takes very minimal amounts of brake to bring that bike back down. So with coast, personally the way that I do it is I get the bike right up to balance, and just before it hits balance point, I've got enough momentum to throw that bike back as soon as I pull that clutch in. So as soon as that bike comes up, pull the clutch in and throw it back. As soon as it goes back past that balance point, it's all rear brake to make sure that I don't loop backwards. When you're doing a clutch in coast, you don't have to sit anywhere near as far back as you are with the clutch out coast, and the reason being for this is there's no engine braking involved. Again, it's all about progression. It's the same as a normal wheelie. Getting used to how the bike behaves when you pull that clutch in and making sure that you can rely on that rear brake by being comfortable with it as soon as that bike comes past balance point. So in a clutch out coaster, it's the same principle as a clutch in coaster. It's about modulating that rear brake and being really light on that rear brake to make sure that that front wheel stays up in the air but not too far back or not too far forward where it drops down back onto the ground. Once you start getting used to having the clutch out coast, now you want to hold it. A good tip in holding that clutch out coast is to sit a little bit further back on the seat. This allows a little bit more weight to sit in the rear of the bike, so the bike doesn't have to sit quite as far back when you're in the coaster. You know, as soon as you get into a coaster, whether it's clutch in or clutch out, when you get off the throttle and you're able to modulate that rear brake and keep that front wheel up in the air. Once you've mastered the coast, it's the gateway to learning more advanced tricks. For clutch in coast, one of my personal favorite tricks is the Limmy Bash coast. That's when you're sitting up at coast, clutch in, and just cranking on that throttle and letting that bike rev out. Clutch out coasts unlock a heap of tricks, one of which is one of my favorites again, is the hand drag, and another one being the no-hander. Coasting, just like a normal wheelie, is all about progression, making sure that you're comfortable with the bike going past balance point and having trust in that rear brake.